Today we're going to be comparing the Nuna Mixx Next and the Cybex Balios S Lux, two rather popular full-sized models that share a variety of characteristics, most importantly being their reversible, highly adjustable seats capable of reclining to a full flat position. So let's get into it then, examining the advantages and disadvantages of each model with relation to child comfort, ease of use, drivability, and longevity, and then concluding with the question of under which circumstances either will make the better purchase. And beginning with the Mixx Next, the model clocks in at right around 13 kilos and folds down to 70 by 60 by 48 centimeters. In terms of child comfort, the seat has good ventilation, a padded insert, and decent quality textiles, but suffers from a few pretty serious drawbacks in the form of a weak canopy, prone to sometimes fall backwards while on the go, a short and similarly weak leg rest, incapable of providing leg support for children older than a year and a half or two, and also quite small seat dimensions overall, with a width of 28 centimeters and a total length of only 78, which severely limits the age span with which the model can be comfortably used, in particular when parent-facing, due to the lack of a rear-mounted footrest. When it comes to parent comfort, the Mixx Next has a handle that's adjustable between 96 and 112 centimeters, an acceptably large shopping basket for a model of its size, and a folding system that, while easy enough to activate, involves the model dropping straight down into a heavy, bulky, and somewhat unwieldy folded package that involves more bending to lift in and out of the trunk than with models that fold down such that they stand up sideways. The chassis is generally sturdy structurally, but too bendy, the result of its somewhat weak central support struts and its malleable suspension, and the components of the handle are also unfortunately a bit loose-fitted, making the stroller pretty rattly right out of the box. As far as driving is concerned, despite having decent-sized wheels and good shock absorption for tackling bumpy ground, that altogether too flexing structure makes the model both a bit unstable feeling and somewhat heavy to steer. Looking lastly at longevity, though the Mixx Next has a likelihood to loosen over time, there are no specifically weak areas likely to break or develop symmetry issues in the short run that I see on the model, other than perhaps the leg rest struts. Moving on, the Balios S Lux is a little over a kilo lighter than the Mixx Next and folds down smaller as well, to 62 by 48.5 by 32 centimeters, and its seat is also larger, with a width of 32 centimeters and a length of 99, which, when coupled with a somewhat sturdier leg rest, makes the model more comfortable to a wider range of ages. On the other hand, the textiles feel both cheaper and thinner than on the Mixx Next, and the seat frame in general, other than the leg rest, is weaker and more susceptible to breaking down the line. When it comes to parent comfort, the shopping basket is of similar dimensions and accessibility to the Mixx Next, and the handle also has a similar, though smaller, range of height, between 99 and 110 centimeters. In terms of its general design, the Balios' fold is a lot easier than the Mixx Next's, and the model feels more comfortable to lift and pack away when folded. But the overall quality of manufacturing is also poorer. The Balios is both looser right out of the box and more prone to loosening further at a faster rate just from the rigors of daily use. And its internal mechanisms are also more complex and involve weaker components in several key places, which makes the model susceptible to both fiddly symmetry problems and breaking in ways that you don't really get with the Mixx Next. When it comes to driving, despite having a similar structure in relation to its central support struts, the Balios does not bend and strain as much from steering, but it does feel more rickety overall, has a potential for developing wobbling problems resulting from its loosely fitted front wheels, and, even though its wheels are only a smidge smaller than on the Mixx Next, the Balios' weaker construction and poorer suspension also make it significantly less terrain capable. So, which of these models is right for you? If you haven't guessed so far, the truth is that I'm not a big fan of either of them, the Mixx Next being better in terms of manufacturing quality, but having a flawed design, while the Balios is the opposite, a decent design with several sought-after characteristics, but shoddily put together. That being said, there is one big difference that we haven't talked about so far, and that's price, with the Mixx Next costing twice what the Balios does. And in the end, this is what really makes a difference for me, with the Mixx Next simply having too many negatives to really compete within its price class, while the Balios is actually cheap enough to make an acceptable use and throw away stroller for those who might want that sort of thing. In any case, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, we ask that you subscribe, as it helps us to continue making videos in the future. If you'd like to know more about either of these models, we have standalone reviews for both of them, and links have been added in the description. In addition, if you are currently shopping for a stroller, we have a buyer's guide on our Patreon page which lists a wide range of models that we recommend, with a lot of technical and lifestyle related information. You can find that by following the link in the description as well. Thank you.